Now, before we get into today's video, just a quick mention from our sponsor at Vehicle Score. If you're about to go and buy a used vehicle, then you must check out Vehicle Score. Vehicle Score service is completely free to use. The basic service is simple. You just go onto the Vehicle Score website, type in your registration number, and you'll get a unique score to your car, which you can compare to the one in Vehicle Score's database. It gives you lots of free information, such as vehicle data, the MOT history, the mileage history, and even a free valuation. But also they carry out their in-depth check service, making sure your vehicle is free of finance, making sure it's never been involved in an accident or an insurance loss or a uninsured loss, so it's not been for a salvage auction, something which standard HPI checks might not pick up on. It'll make sure it's never been used as a taxi, never been imported or exported, had a colour change, any mileage discrepancies. It's one of the most in-depth checks out there at the best possible price, and it gets better because you get a discount for being a Car UK viewer. Simply type in Car UK 20 and you'll get 20% off any of their paid checks, with them starting from as little as a cup of coffee. So make sure you check out Vehicle Score when buying your next car, and always remember the basic service is completely free to use, so get yourself over to vehiclescore.co.uk or download the app today. Afternoon all, welcome back to Car UK channel. You join me here at the car pitch where we're dealing cars under £5,000. Just another quick workshop episode, see what's going on today in the workshop. Let me show you. Right, so lads have buggered off for the dinner, so I'll do a little bit of filming while it's quiet and the radio's not blasting. A couple of cars in today. We've got the Fisher & C1, the white one, 12 plate one, which we've just sold the other day to a customer. And just doing a bit of work to this one. Had quite a bit done to it, so we've had, what you can see here, put new brakes on it, it's having new arms on it, it's having new drop links on it, stuff like that, all suspension stuff. Because a few of ours on the last MOT, so we're addressing all those, got pipes and stuff to sort out, a few little bits and bobs. Had a clutch in it recently, and gearbox mount, stuff like that. So we're just going through it all, and then we'll underseal the entire vehicle as well, as we always do on the C1s and IGOs, because obviously when they get to a certain age, not so much 12 till they're 10 plates, but when you get past that, they can start to go, particularly on these back arches here. So if you schultz them, stops the water getting in, and obviously just protects them and smarts them up a little bit. So we're getting on with that one, so that's in the air now, being done. And then we've also on this little automatic Corsa that's come in. It's quite rare I get any automatic Corsas in, rare I get any autos in at all, in fact. So I'm quite pleased with this one. Bought this privately at the gate. I've had it sent away, just have some paint done on it and a little bit of a bumper corner done. I don't think I had any pictures of it originally, but it was all scuffed here. I think it was this side, so I had that done, little bumper corner edge done. And then it's just a case of going through the usual stuff we do on these. So on these Corsa engines, usual things that go wrong with them is they leak water, particularly on this side housing here. This one was leaking, you can see it been leaking, so we've took it all off. I'm going to put a new one on there. We always change as well the thermostat housings because they're quite notorious for going wrong. We'll put new ones of those on. Usually as well, sometimes we'll have to check this one, move it back up and running. Sometimes these rocker covers play up. They've got a little diaphragm in them. And they can go wrong. So we do them, take the core packs out as well, just check those over, make sure the plugs are okay. Sometimes as well we have to change these purge valves on the back as well. So we scan and make sure we haven't got any previous codes, anything code related to do with purge valves, we always change those. Bleed it all up. Also we've got to change the radiator fan, so we've got a spare radiator fan for it. Fan's working, so there's no issue there, it's not overheating or anything. It's just a bit noisy, the motor bearing, which is again a commonish thing on the Corsas. So luckily we've got a spare one we took off a breaker, so we'll switch that over and run it all up and get that up and running today. In fact, there's your stat there. So these always leak on these gaskets. In fact, you can just see that one starting to leak. Plus as well, they always pack up these electric stats, but not very good. But when it's done, we'll get it on sale. So I've got to clean it up, mint it up. I say it to be first automatic course I've ever had on the pitch. Had a bit of interest already, so hopefully we can get it up and sold pretty quickly. Although, yeah, 4795 is what it's going up for. Done about, I think, some 60-ish thousand miles. Does seem dear to me, but at the end of the day, that is what these automatics go for. They go for silly money. You could take £1,000 off that if it was a manual. It's just the demand for autos is just ridiculous. Quickly show you what's going on outside as well, what's been in the workshop. We've just pulled the punter out before. We've moved this out to put the other two in. This one was in the workshop in the last workshop update video.
this has had quite a bit done to it. I've had to do window regulators on the back, I've had to put a clutch in it, it's had to have new brakes on it, there's some pads. So we've done most of the work now. Probably could do with some new tyres on the front as well. We've got to do the wheels, so we'll do that when he gets back. The wheels are all edgy, so we're going to get them sent off to the wheel man and get him to do that. So I'm going to go out for a test drive that in it later, make sure that one's all going to plan. And in the back as well, I need to go to the scrapyard to get some handles, because we fixed the windows, but for some reason the handles disappeared. So whoever took the windows apart originally just lost the handles. But on eBay, can't find any. So I mean, I could go, suppose, ask the breakers, send messages, but I'll just nip down my local breakers yard. Someone's bound to have a punto in, and we'll see how we get on with that one. But hopefully next week to get that on sale, because he wants cleaning up and a few other little bits doing, and wheels, etc. But yeah, it's pretty much come in decent budget. That it's you give about 450 quid for it. Spent a few £100 on parts, and it should probably do, I don't know, 22, 23.95, somewhere around there for a 12-plate punto as well. So we'll see how we get on with that. Might get one of those. It's got a few marks on the back here which annoy me, but you can, rather than obviously have it painted, the whole bumper, you can buy the you know, the little inserts that go over like a wear panel, aren't they? You know, kick panels you might call them, or a boot loading panel, loading area. So we'll get one of those and pop them in, because it just smartens it up as well. Obviously there's only so much you can do on a car this age, a few little touch-ups, etc. But overall it's not damaged, it's not, you know, it's not rusty or anything like that. It's clean and presentable, we can make it so. Other than that, next thing we've got to get in is my little Clio, which has been in and out. This was used as a courtesy car for a brief period, and then a member of staff had to use it because he had his car written off. Not his fault. So he's used that, and it's now back again. So we need to just clean this up. Unfortunately, when we sent it out on courtesy to the first person that had it, they broke the fuel cap. Big cobweb here, remove this cobweb. Yeah, snapped it all apart because they couldn't get in. So it's seized up. And then they've had to decide in their wisdom to just rip it apart. So we've got a new one here. You can see we've painted. We've got a different colour, but we're going to get a new cassette insert and put that in. It's only a little cheapy Clio, 56 plates, an old car. You know, it's probably what going to do 12, 13.95. It's just a little cheapy Clio. It's done 70 or 80,000 miles at 1.2. It is what it is. But occasionally we like to keep something like that. We don't get many stuff under £2,000 at all now. It's very rare we get anything under 1,500 quid. But as a little cheapy car, we'll do some 12 months MOT, service it, put a warranty on it. And like I said, we can't say it doesn't drive well, because my old valet has been using it, and a guy before it put about 1,800 miles on it in courtesy. I was like, wow. In fact, there's two people actually had this. We had the first guy who had the Mini, of a problem, he had it, and then another guy who had it on courtesy for a Focus job, and he was basically using it as a delivery car, which was nice of him. Right, we'll take this little punto for a test drive and see what's left to do on it. I think we've pretty much done everything we need to do, but I'm not, most likely we'll have forgotten something, because when you've got a car like this with loads of work doing to it, you're bound to have forgotten one of the jobs. Anyway, let's see. Press the brakes. Can't beat new distant pads. That initial sort of press of the brakes, and you realise you ain't got any brakes at all while they're sort of bedding in. So we'll bed these in, we'll have a bit of a chat. But in fairness, this isn't too bad. I'd say, for being picky, the tracking, no, it seems alright actually, that does. It's driving in a straight line, no knocks or bangs. Them drop links have done wonders, and that arm that was knackered. So that's solved that. Going through the gears fine. Always have to be careful with these, because obviously it's had a brand new clutch in. But puntos do suffer with noisy gearboxes and 500s, whining gears and crunching, so you have to be really careful with this one. Those, and I said this one was fine, but it did have a high clutch. It was a bit ropey, but now it's changing nice and smoothly. Doing all right. Go down these little sleeping policemen here now. That will put it through its paces. But yeah, it seems all right. No noises. Yeah, take it like a trooper. Spot on. What I want to see. These little puntos, in fairness, I think people slate these off, but if we sell them, and do you know what? We get hardly any that ever come back under warranty. In fact, I'd say you're less likely to get a problem with one of these puntos than you certainly would do with a Corsa D, which are, you know, arguably probably a more popular car to sell, and maybe a little bit brighter, particularly some of the specky Corsa Ds like your SXIs, limited editions with the youth one. But these, they aren't bad. People will buy them, so I'm pleased with this. Meter's working. Yeah, superb. Right, so I'll get this back to the workshop, and then it's just a case of cleaning it up with bloody good clean up. It needs a radical clean inside, it's horrible. and get it all a bit detailed and touched in, and potentially look to get it on sale. Job's a good one. Right, later on in the day, little Clio is all done and dusted. We've had it valeted and done some jobs to it, and potentially may have sold this little Clio. I've had a chap ring up who gets me a few cars now and then, and customers, sends me some customers in, particularly obviously the cheaper market stuff that I sell, and he rang me up not long after we recorded that Punto actually, and just said, have you got anything between £1,000 and 1,500 quid? And I said, well, actually, look, we'd have it. I'm literally valeting, well, I'm not, Ben is, the valet, is valeting a Clio as we speak, which is going to go up for £1,395. I could have said £1,495, to be fair, they wouldn't have been any wiser, but obviously it was genuinely going to go up to £1,395, so that's what it'll be. Although arguably it probably was £1,595, really, it should have gone up for with 70k on it. But there we are. Anyway, point being, it's here if you want it, send your customer down. And they just literally want just a cheap run around for a few months until they get another car come through. That'll do the job, no problem. It's clean, it's presentable, it drives well. It's got, been near enough a full MOT on it. It's been serviced, etc. And we've done quite a bit to it, including actually putting a clutch in this when it first came in. So yeah, so quite a bit done to it. It will outlast the 3 months they need it for, and more so. So you probably get a good couple of years out of these, because actually these aren't bad, these Clios. A few little electrical niggles now and then, but nothing major. But rot-wise, when you don't get underneath one of these and see these rotten, they're actually really stable things. And saying the engines are pretty old school and don't give them too much jip. But like I say, we just pushed up that fuel cap on because it was broken, matched it in, that's all done. Give it a quick valet. The only job I've got left to do on it, which we'll do when the customer, if they buy it, we'll finish it off. Obviously we're going to get it back in the workshop and give it a double check. Is the heater. So the heater works on setting 1, 2 and 3, but not number 4. But it's just a resistor problem and wiring issue. We keep these in, these for the Renaults and the Corsas and stuff, because they're common. So we'll just whack that in if they buy it, and just do that on the final check with all the lights and stuff and tyre pressures. Like I said, it was pre-prepped a few months ago when it was about to go on sale and serviced, and then it got taken off for courtesy duties. Clean old thing. So hopefully tomorrow we can get another sale on the board, because we do need some sales. I can obviously make some room, and this is one of the cars that's been lingering around as well, so glad to see it go, that's the case. And then we can start pulling out another one out the corner, turning that around and start to transform the pitch into something a bit more car-like, or car pitch-like, i.e. try to get more cars for sale, lined up over there, and bring more of the sort of stuff that's in prep over to this side. That's the idea anyway. Whether that happens or not, we're yet to see. Lastly, before we go, of course, the old mechanic's been building this back up. A few other jobs we've done as well today, but he's been building this all back up. So this is all now sorted. I had to get a new coolant cap for it, which in fairness we change a lot anyway on these pretty much all the time, because they always break. So I've got new housing on it, new sensor on the radiators because they always play up, star housing all on. Just bled it all up now. It's all done. Just got to take a tiny bit of coolant out of the bottle because there's a bit too much in there, and we're all done. I've had the fan working all up to temp, no problems at all. So that's good news. We can get that finished off tomorrow. Just got to put a little bit of a chin spoiler back on the bottom there, and then give it a valet and get it on sale. Automatic Corsa. We'll see how we get on with that. I imagine we'll be inundated with people trying to buy that, because it does drive exceptionally well. So we'll see how that goes. Right, anyway, I think it's about time I go home. Thank you for watching this short video, guys. Make sure you check out today's sponsor, our good friends at Vehicle Score. If you are looking to buy a car, make sure you get it checked by using the Vehicle Score app. It's free to use the basic service, and if you want to go in depth and get your car checked out properly, making sure it's not been damaged or anything like that, then make sure you use our discount code CARUK20 to get 20% off any of their paid checks. Links in the description, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to make sure you get the latest content as it lands. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one.